What do you think of the 8 gender and social equity principles?
I had a chance to meet these 8 GSE principles at this workshop, and what is a general picture mine for this principle is that they are very comprehensive, in detail, and they cover a lot of aspects from gender and social issues. They are easily understandable and I think approachable to a different implementers, different beneficiaries, and also to a different projects. I think that they are very much applicable, and having in mind their applicability as well as because for me they are very understandable, they have a high potential to become a powerful tool for identification as well as to recognize the disadvantaged groups, their needs, and to provide some base for their social inclusion in the society. So that is some general picture in mind for these GSE principles.
How helpful are the gender and social equity principles in orientating your program?
Well, first I must say that the program is very specific because it's dealing with nature conservation, and applying these 8 GSE principles in the projects like this, it's a big challenge because in the projects that are dealing with the specific activities related to the nature conservation, biodiversity valorization, protected areas, the social and gender issues like an iceberg. You can only see that small part above the surface of the sea, which is not very important, and the big part, which cannot be seen on the first sight, it's above that sea surface, and if you not consider it during implementation of these specific projects, then it can be a real problem and obstacle for implementation and even for the sustainability of the project. So we as a program and PCT as a project coordination team responsible for coordination of this program will continuously strive to include this principle as much as we can in our project.
Can you give an example how to integrate one or more of the 8 gender and social equity principles in your program?
Yes, until now we've applied some of the principles, and we have some plans in the future in implementation of the next steps in the program to apply several rest of the GSE principle. For example, in our program we announced public calls for tenders for different activities related to nature conservation. And in the terms of reference in these public calls, one of the requirements for the bidders is to include the gender and social issues in the methodology and approach of their offer. So we also consider that as a criteria, and it has a big influence in the final score for that implementer. That's the one thing. And also we identify the main key stakeholders as a disadvantaged groups in our project and try to involve them in our workshops, and also in some to provide trainings for them, because mainly they are low skilled in nature conservation, and it's very important to training them so they can become more aware about their duties and responsibilities they can have in the planning, in decision making and implementing in activities related to the nature conservation.